Morning guys, it's Tuesday morning's devotion, and we're talking about the mountain of defeat, standing against the possibilities that we could lose out in the battle against the evil forces that Satan is in control of. It's interesting in many people's experience that they live in this valley of defeat. We're calling it the mountain of defeat. You can choose which one you seem to think it might be. But it's interesting that when we stand in this particular valley or against this particular mountain of defeat, sometimes we develop a defeatist attitude. We fought this battle so many times, we've lost every time, I'm just going to give up. It's the attitude of many people. Oh, I've tried to break those things, I've tried to resist the temptation, but I just fail, and then I pick myself up and I think I'm going to do better, but I just fail again. And it's a sad situation. Now here's an interesting comparison. Over the course of the last few weeks, we've been considering that incredible battle that took place between David and Goliath. Now here's the interesting difference in perspective. The Israelite army were defeated. Before they even went to battle, they were totally defeated. They were intimidated by Goliath. They were in a bad way psychologically, and they just knew that they on their own were never going to be able to stand against the Philistines. So they hid in the rocks away from the enemy. Now for them, they had taken on this incredibly defeatist, downtrodden kind of attitude. And then up to the start stood young David, who came with a completely different attitude. And in the conversation between David and Goliath, we learn an awful lot. Let me tell you what we learn. When Goliath saw David coming, he said, "Am I a dog that you come against me with sticks?" You know, and David says, "Have you not seen my armor? I'm a man of great valor. I have killed thousands of people. And you want to come against me? Who do you think you are?" And David, this young man, just smiled and said, "Oh, I don't come in my name. I come in the name of Jehovah Sabaoth, the Lord Almighty, the governor of the commander of the armies of heaven." Now, if you're going to come against Satan in any shape or form in your life through your daily living, you've got to understand who God is. Now, the beauty of this whole thing, it's so exciting, is that Jehovah Sabaoth is one of the names that was given to God in the Old Testament, and it's defined as being his warrior name, because God can be, when he needs to be, the God of war. And let me tell you, you don't want to mess with Jehovah Sabaoth. So when David stood in front of Goliath, he knew whose name he was coming in. He was coming in the power and in the authority of Jehovah Sabaoth, the God who makes war, the God who is, this is his warrior name. So David knew that the fight was not his, but he knew he had to fight the fight. But he knew who was behind him. He knew that Jehovah Sabaoth would stand with him, and that Jehovah Sabaoth would be the beginning and the end of his victory. Now, Jehovah Sabaoth was God's warrior name, but it's intriguing. The book of Ezekiel, the entire prophecy, Jehovah Sabaoth is never used as the name of God. You know why? Because the people that Ezekiel was talking to had this defeatist attitude. They'd been defeated so many times. They'd fought the battle in their own strength and lost every single time. And now they were so defeated, they couldn't even in their wildest thinking consider that maybe they could win a battle against Satan or against the forces of evil. They never thought they could. And so when David used the name Jehovah Sabaoth, he knew that he was not alone in this fight. He knew that Jehovah Sabaoth would guard him, would protect him, and ultimately would give to him the victory, no matter how big the battle might be. Now, I need you to personalize this today. I need you to ask yourself, have you been fighting battles over and over and over and recognizing that you're probably not going to win these things? Well, Jehovah Sabaoth is the name that you need to know. This is God's warrior name. Now, over the course of the next couple of days, we're going to be looking at the implications of this incredible name. I trust that you will find God to be what He says He is. He will fight for you. He will guide you. He will keep you. He will strengthen. And He fights not always for you, although sometimes, but He certainly fights with you and through you. I hope you find this to be the truth. Have a great day, guys. Bye now.